Good day, everybody. It is Zandra Ross with Zandra Ross Coaching and Consulting. I am so pleased that you chose to spend some of your day getting ready to improve your self-image. And that's what this next hour is going to be about, feeling good about yourself. I think that to me is Self-Care Sunday. I call it Self-Care Saturday, but I think I'm just going to start calling it Self-Care Sunday, because I really believe that we all need to spend some more time taking care of ourselves and building ourselves up from the inside out. Most of us spend the time going, I need to lose weight, I need to get in shape, I need to be more organized, I need to get more done, which is really an external thing. A lot of it, I think, is that everyone puts out there is, okay, I need to work more, exercise more, eat less, meal prep, all these things that get in our way of really just being happy and loving ourselves and feeling super good. And that's what I want to talk about, is the inside job. And I know it's so obvious, but I really have spent so many years trying to do the things. And now I'm ready to do the inside work, which is really what takes the effort, as all of my peeps know out there that are on this crazy self-care journey and self-awareness journey and personal development journey, whatever you want to call it, whatever journey you're on. And this is not just for people that are a train wreck. I promise you, this is for people that maybe need to fortify. You're already feeling awesome. You already feel like you have a pretty good self-image. Well, this is going to fortify everything that you already know and feel about yourself, and even amplify it. Let's times that feeling by 5 so that we can get us all moving through this time, this uncertain time. But honestly, it's always uncertain. Life is uncertain. So I don't want to give this time any more attention or make it that it's worse. Yes, we've got this pandemic that's rushing around, but the fact is, you still got to pay your bills. You still got to be happy. You still got to look after, if you have children or a fur pet, you've still got to find ways to get food into them. And, you still got to find ways to set goals and reach goals, because I believe that is so much about anxiety and lack of self-love, self-motivation. The way you see yourself is so much about goal setting and about the belief that you are capable of achieving goals. And that's the work that I immerse myself in, is helping people see what it is that they're capable of and what they can achieve in their life if they just move forward, and if they start kicking those self-limiting beliefs to the curb. Because that, my friends, is what we need to focus on, because it really is all in our head. So many of the thoughts and feelings, it's so many of the ways that we've been taught. And we'll go through and talk about those images that you've had from childhood, that you believe that, oh, tooting my own horn isn't a good thing. And then you wonder why either A, you never really feel happy, you never feel good about yourself. Well, you're never celebrating yourself. Or B, you own a business and you're like, why am I not connecting with people? Why are people not flooding into my business? I have a great business. Well, if you're not telling people about it and telling them how amazing you are, then how will they ever find out? So 2 seconds on my background. I am a mindset coach and an organizational development specialist. What does that mean? I love to help people be the best that they can be. I love to help people live that life, whether it is personally, professionally, and I believe that you need both to have a good, happy life. I love to help people figure that out and figure out what makes them happy, what makes them tick, what motivates them, so that they can move on down the road to that life that they are called to, that they deserve. Because again, for a lot of us, our families, due to trauma, due to poverty, due to self-limiting beliefs, due to abuse, addictions, any number of things, our families maybe didn't get to do the things that they wanted to and have this self-awareness. So we get stuck in this thing of, oh, I don't deserve it. My family didn't have it. I'm not good enough. You may be even told that by people. But I'm here to tell you, my friends, that that is all in your head. And it is all bad medicine that you've been putting, or bad magic, black magic, voodoo, whatever you want, whatever you beliefs. It's also bad luck. It's wishing people to use this bad thought pattern and bad language around yourself. You are casting the spell on yourself. Nobody else is. And if you say, well, that's not what I was taught. Well, it's time for you to start deciding, is what you were taught first of all, valuable to your life now. It was your way. What we're taught is our family's way of trying to protect us. And they only have the skills that they have. And for most of us, that next generation, you've grown more and you've learned more and you become a different person. So you need to start to turn um, up your game, man. It's time to get moving. All right. It's time to get ready to improve your self-image. So I'm trying some new technology here. So I don't know if I'm going to have your comments pop up as immediate as they always do, because I'm streaming to a whole bunch of places right now. So I'm really excited and a little bit nervous. But you know what? That's part of improving your self-image, is just doing stuff and getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that are scary. And I'm a little scared right now, but I choose to call it being excited. So I hope that it's going to come across loud and clear to all of you. All right. Again, as I said, welcome. I am so glad you're all here. Please drop me a note. Let me know where you're from. If you are watching this on the replay, please comment below. Tell me why you are on this webinar today, why you signed up for it, because you might have not have made it. And don't worry, that's part of why people don't show up in their lives, is because they're afraid of, I'm not going to show up enough. And the fact that you show up any amount of time in any way, shape, or form, for me, is enough. Okay, so I want to say thank you, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. You're amazing. And stop letting perfection get in your way. Okay, that's what I want you to think about. This isn't about perfection. This is about just doing, being, having, and living. And that's what I hope that I can share with all of you out there. And I hope that you all know, I take these deep breaths, and they're really important, because you know what? The importance of self-image, there is nothing else, my friends. You know it. You know when you're feeling good and you look good, you feel good, you smell good, you're well fed, you have a few bucks in your pocket, and you're surrounded by the people you love. How do you feel? Right? You feel like you could accomplish anything. There's opportunities everywhere. You see good luck. You see all of a sudden, wow, look how nice people are. Look what's happening out in the world. Self-image is huge, my friends. And that's what I want you to focus on, is what feels good for you. Oh, so glad. Awesome. Beautiful. Thanks, guys, for checking in here. Just checking in the messages. So I'm so happy. I got people, friends from Prince George. I've got friends from Chilliwack. And I thank you. And I got some personal messaging, because not everybody's as confident as you guys. And got some in from Williams Lake and Burns Lake as well. So thank you for tuning in. I'm so happy and proud of you that you are taking this opportunity to invest in yourself, because that's what this is all about. Self-image is everything. People can tell you, oh, self-image, what does that mean? Self-image is how you see yourself. Self-image is not the way the rest of the world sees you. And, well, no, I lied. It is how the rest of the world sees you, because the fact is, if you're showing up and you feel good and you are all of those things in a bag of chips that we talked about, you can't help but take over the world. You can't help but attract people and have them be, oh my God, you are the most amazing, beautiful human being that I have ever encountered. Man, woman, other, they, she, he, we, they, all of those pronouns, however you identify, whoever you identify as, it doesn't matter. Our self-image is what we broadcast to the world. So if you are feeling crappy, if you are feeling that you don't have a good service in your business to offer to people, if you don't truly believe that you can bring magic to the world and love to the world and skills and share with them, then it's going to be hard for other people to see that. And a lot of people times, that's why people don't toot their horn, is because they think, well, geez, that's just conceited and other people are going to do it for me, or should. You know what? That's part of what we're going to talk about, is your image, who you are, should not be based on who anybody else is or say you are. Unless it's the love of your children. But even then, if our children are happy with us, they're going to think we're great. If they're unhappy with us, they're going to think we're dicks. So it's the same at work. You work with a client. One day they can think you're amazing because you help them get a thing. The next day you can't help them with that thing. All of a sudden you're a jerk. Well, does that really mean that you're a jerk or that you're a queen of the world? to that person doesn't mean it. It's what you decide who you are, and it's how you want to show up and how you feel about what you are putting out there, because that's what you are going to bring back into you. So that's what I want you to start thinking about. Even if you say, well, yeah, I kind of like myself, we're going to really get, and if you're going to hang out with me, I'm going to make you love yourself. I'm going to make you even remotely like yourself, at least. Okay. I'm going to make you appreciate yourself, because I'm sorry, that is what life is about. There is not enough people that can tell me I'm a good person that are going to make me believe it if I don't believe it myself. And that's it. You guys know it. You have 1,000 people who think you're amazing and tell you wonderful things, or maybe 3, maybe 1. Doesn't matter. It's who you take your validation from. And one person could say, meh, I could take you or leave you. And the majority of us will disregard all of the good things that people have said, those other 1,000 people said, and we will listen to what that one person said. So that's what we need to start thinking about. And we're going to unpack it. What are those messages? Who told us those things that made us start believing, whether good things, positive things, and negative things? So I want you to start even right now making some notes, and we'll talk about it a bit later, but start thinking about those messages that you are telling yourself right now. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Oh, I'm too disorganized. I'm too flighty. Maybe it's positive things. You're amazing. You can do anything. Wow, you really hold your emotions in, blah, blah. All the things that people think about you. I want you to start making a note of it right now. And we're going to talk about the next topic, limiting beliefs, because that's what creates how we believe in ourselves. Unless we're really strong in ourselves, and hopefully that's why we're all here, is to get stronger, so that we decide what our beliefs are, not what other people dictate to us. And if you've grown up with traumatic role models in your life who beat you down, who even supported you, but supported you in a fear-based way. That's what one of my people in my life, they were always going, they were abused as a child by a stranger. And so I was raised always believing that strangers are danger, stranger danger, yes, but to the extreme degree where don't ever trust any man in your life because they're going to hurt you. And so I went on believing I'm going to be single all my life. I will never have children. I won't. And just so you know, that's my, and everybody is. I'm speaking from that heterosexual female perspective. But I want you to put yourself, however you identify, into this role, and decide what those limiting beliefs are that you have created for yourself based on those old stories. And like I said, they're not always abusive stories. A lot of times, negative messages that are put upon us are to protect us. That's what my person was doing. They weren't saying, oh, you're just gonna be a dirty girl and bad things are gonna happen to you because you're not responsible. No, she didn't. She was worried for me and she wanted to protect me. So she planted some of these seeds so that I would protect myself. But then what happened is it paralyzed me and it made me protect myself in a way that I don't think is exactly what she wanted. But it did protect me, but not necessarily in the healthiest way, if you know what I mean. So, and this is one of the ways that people fall into cycles of negative self-worth, is by maintaining self-beliefs, is believing I'm not good enough, smart enough, capable enough, that I'm not a good enough judge of character, that I can judge what good people are and bad people are. That I'm terrible with money. I've had troubles with money before. So now my family is constantly saying, oh, your money is not good. You're never going to be trustworthy with money again, right? So this is just that thing that I want you to decide, that what are those limiting beliefs that have been put for you, whether it's from your own mind, whether it's from childhood trauma, whether it's from an unsupportive partner or friend, your best friend. It's amazing how many of us have a best friend. And if you could see me right now, and I will put myself on the screen after, there's just so much content. I don't want to get distracted. I want to stay on track with my notes today. That have a best friend that really, are they your best friend? Or are they constantly one that you are battling? Do you have a family member that is like, oh, no, I love you, but, and always has that but in what they say. I trust you and I know you can do this, but, or maybe they write out and out say, who do you think you are? You You think you're good. You think you deserve better than what we have. You think you're better than me. So I want you to start making notes. What are my limiting beliefs? What is getting in my way? And I don't want you to think about, well, it's true, because we'll think about that here. I don't want you arguing whether these are true or not. I want you to break out of them because they really don't mean anything. All they're doing is holding you back from living the life that you need to live. Not that even, because everybody talks about these dream lives and ideal lives. And some people, you know what? Some of us just deserve a good, happy, solid life. I don't even want to be constantly blowing smoke up everybody's butt and making it like, oh, if you're not super excited to jump out of bed every morning, then you're not living your fullest life. You know what? Because everybody's got a different personality. Some people grew up in trauma and just love the idea of waking up with a calm, quiet, being able to meditate, do yoga in the morning. So, right? I want you, don't, because of who I am and who I'm delivering the message. I want you to just look in the mirror and decide, listen to the words, but turn them to the way you need them to serve you. Because these are the beliefs that I want you to have now. You've got to create the beliefs. And that's by doing these webinars and talking to healthy people and creating a social circle that helps you. But it's time. You need to break out of these self-limiting beliefs and move on, okay? And some of those things I'm asking you to do right now, because you say, what do I do, Zandra? Start writing them down. Don't think about them. Everybody thinks about stuff, and it's like a hamster wheel. And it's hard to, when you just think about something, it's hard to manage it, and it's hard to unravel it. So if you're with somebody watching, talk to them. If not, grab a scrap of paper and start writing down, what are my limiting beliefs? And then I want you to start thinking, are these positive beliefs? Were they beliefs that have helped me? Because not everybody had terrible traumatic stories. So I want you to, and some of you had some good stories and some bad stories. So I want you to start, is this a supporting belief, or is this is this a non-supporting belief that's digging me down? And then once you've done that, and we won't have time to do it all, and I'm going to be telling you about the challenge because we will be doing this in greater detail. I'm so excited, but I'll try to calm myself down right now. Then I want you to start thinking about, these are bullshit. These are not real. These are beliefs that were put on you, because then you're going to think about, where did this belief come from? Because we weren't born with them. People will think, oh, this is just the way I've been since I was born. No, it's not. You've learned a lot of things. Your personality, a lot about your core personality is there from birth. But you can choose to be whoever you want to be. You can decide, what's my goal? How do I want to show up? I've always been told I'm bad with money because I blew money. I went bankrupt. Well, who do you have to be good with money? How do you have to show up to be good with money? Anybody can be good with money. I don't care how much money you've lost. You can be good with money. I don't care how many diets you've been on before. This can be the last time, because you're not going to diet anymore. You're going to change your mindset and go, it's not about torturing myself. It's about eating healthy and fueling my body with good things, right? Friends, you've got crappy friends hanging out with you and you're like, well, they've been my friends since childhood. It's my cousin, blah, blah, blah. You know what? You're the one who's creating your drama. You're the one who's creating that limit in your life. And you can love people, but you don't have to like them. That's another belief I have now, where before it was like, oh, well, I have to take all the crap that my family and friends give me because I love them. And that's what you do when you love people. No, you don't. You create boundaries with people you love. You teach them how to treat you the way that you want them to treat you. Because the fact is, if you're letting them treat you crappy, I guarantee you've taught them to treat somebody else crappy in your life as well. Because if wonderful you is going to tolerate that, well, then that must be a great way for me to treat other people, right? So again, you're a parent, you're a teacher, you're anything in this world. You are constantly influencing other people. You may just think this is about you and about how you feel about yourself. Hey, I'm telling you, my darling, you influence so many people in your life. And it's time for you to start kicking those things out. It's time for you to start deciding what beliefs you want to have. And I don't care if you've had them since you were 3 years old, because that's what your granny told you, is you sing like a dying cow. I'm sorry, that's my dream. One of my dreams, I'm actually going to start taking singing lessons. Why do I think I'm going to be a singer? No, because I want to go to karaoke and sing and not think I sound like a dying cow anymore. And you could go, well, just go sing. No, I've got a pretty big ego. I want to sing good when I get there. So you see what I mean? I'm creating the world I want for myself. I don't have to listen to my granny that said that I sounded like a dying cow. So that's what we need to do, is start letting go of those limiting beliefs. Because playing small, baby, ain't serving anyone. And you know that. And what does that mean? People talk about, well, does that mean I have to go out and be Tony Robbins or be the prime minister or Oprah Winfrey? Because that's what I thought. Playing big, I thought that just meant I have to go save the world. No, playing big means being you. It means sharing your special kind of magic, your special kind of glitter that you got inside of you with everyone. It's about you being happy. It's about you being fulfilled, because honestly, that's when we're able to show up for people, is when we are fulfilled, when we are happy, when we are well rested. You know it. When you're tired, when you're hungry, you need a Snickers, right? You know the commercials, and it's true. We get bitchy, we get grouchy, we maybe get passive, and we don't need, I don't know, whatever you want, because we're just tired of fighting anymore. Playing small is about allowing other people to decide who you are. Playing small is about people deciding if you are worthy or not, or if you are good enough, right? It's about learning to love you. That's what playing big is. That's it. And I have this favorite quote, and it's a longer one, and I'm going to be sending it to everybody that signed up for this webinar. That's what's great. I am starting to stream this webinar to all of my pages. But the fact is that you guys signed up. Whether you showed up live or not, you're going to get some extras. So I'm going to be sending you this full poem. And a lot of you have heard of it. I don't even know if it's a poem. It's just amazing. And it's by a famous author, Marianne Williamson. And it goes, here's a little piece of it. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. And I think that's what it is too. If you've grown up like a crab in a bucket and you've tried to be positive and the people have told you, oh, who do you think you are? You're never going to be any more than that. You're from that family. You're just like that. Oh, you shouldn't act like that. Your families are leaders. They wouldn't toot their own horn, right? You guys know, you know all the variations of your story, right? Your negative story that's playing in your head. And what I want you to say, you belittling your achievements, shrugging off your accomplishments, or resisting things that you know that make you feel good, resisting things that make you feel good, you move yourselves further and further away from your authentic self. Every time that you say, oh, this old thing, you put yourself down, or you believe a crappy message that somebody who shouldn't be trusted with your heart and your well-being give you, you are getting further and further away from who you really are. We shrink the part of us that is trying to be heard, seen, and felt, and turn it into a tiny little version of what it could be if we were given the right amount of energy, right? This results in damaged self-image, poor self-worth, and negative thought patterns, which do nothing but keep us stuck there in that hole, right? The shit bog, I call it. And again, sorry if anyone's new on me, you're going to know that I'm real and I like to swear. So I believe in truly, and if you don't, that's okay too. You can mute those parts. I may have a muted version. I'll have to start having my clean version. But if you find yourself slipping into that place of negativity, of not worthiness, I want you to ask yourself, who are you not to shine? I want you to ask yourself, what is good enough, right? It's all in the eye of the beholder. How do you define your understanding of good enough? Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to benefit? You, the world, what? Who are you showing up for? To maximize the benefits of the work you're doing, I'd love it if you could take a pen to paper and do this. Do this work. Answer these questions honestly for yourself, okay? And you can share it in the group if you want. I'm going to start a thread about this topic in the Lifestyle Hacks with Zan group. So please jump in on it, comment on it, because to me, this work is personal, but it really helps when we start to share it with each other. And this is another huge factor, and that's what I want you to start thinking about, is what does success mean to you? Because that's why people get stuck with perfectionism and never wanting to move forward, because they don't know what it means. And that's what I want you to start thinking about is when you're comparing yourself to others. And that's normally what we do. We don't set a level of success where I want to be happy. I want to do this type of work. I want to feel this way from my work. I want to hang out with these kind of people and I want them to make me feel this way. I want to be able to do this much physical activity, not because I want to be a bikini or a bodybuilding person, bikini model or bodybuilding, but because I want to be healthy and I want to be able to go on adventures with my healthier friends or take my kids out, take my dog out. So you really need to decide, not based on other people, what success is, not what people are doing on Facebook, not what people are doing on Instagram, not what your cousin's doing down the road, not what your coworkers. What is success for you? And what would it take for you to feel successful in life? Okay. And if it's well, because you can't keep up, why bother trying to be rich? Because all the rich people take money. There's so many, that's what a belief that I used to have, that I grew up with, because that's what I thought. There's only so much money to go around. It's a lie. There's tons of money out there. They're constantly making it. You can have as much of it as you want. But it's about you setting up a life that works for you. And for a lot of you, once I work with my clients, because I'm a mindset coach, we talk about money and people will think it's a huge deal. And what I'll say is, well, let's do a budget. You say that you can never make enough money and you're always behind. Well, then we start doing the work on how much money they need. And it's amazing. I have yet once to find somebody who went, oh my God, why bother? My goals are way bigger than my money. Every single person goes, wow, I didn't realize how much closer I was to my financial goal than I was, because we always make it out of reach because we compare it to the billionaire or the millionaire, when really I just need to be a thousandaire. You know what I mean? An extra $1,000 a month or an extra $100 a month would help get me the life that I want. So I need you to start thinking about, what would a successful life look like for you? Okay. And focus on it. That other one, oh my goodness. Gosh, guys, we talk about this one. And to me, this is at the heart of the work I do, is letting go of past experiences, helping people to realize that the messages that your family, friends, past teachers, past bosses, and friends, even, like I said, I love it. Thank you. I have so many negative things that were said with the best intentions. That's it. It doesn't have to be abusive people where you think, oh God, I'm scared. It could have been your mom trying to protect you. It could be your best friend. But honestly, a lot of times too, it's because you're doing things that they're scared to do. So they will try to stop you. And it might be a relationship. It might be traveling. It might be everything. Like, I know it's a crazy time right now out there in the world with health-wise. And I have a lot of people that I haven't traveled a lot, but we were in Mexico and all this went down and we decided to go anyways. When we left around the 13th or something, it was like right before they did everything. We decided to go. We've also just recently come back from Jasper. And I know there's people that are going to think all sorts of things out there. And I've had people message me and tell me those things. And what I tell them is, my friends, I completely agree. And I promise you, I would not do anything that would endanger myself, my children, or any other, even stranger that I came into contact with. And we didn't. We wore the mask. We used the sanitizer. We socially distanced. We didn't go out. We ate in our room. We brought groceries with us. We didn't have to go to the local stores much. On and on and on. The fact is, I love it. And I love the people that care about me. But the fact is, I've got to let go of that. And I've got to decide what's best for me. I've got to decide who I want to be and what's going to be work. Okay. Because here's another quote by Arvind Katosh. What we feed our mind shapes our perceptions, and our perceptions shape our reality. Okay. So what you are accepting into, and that's the thing, that's why it's important to look at who's your support circle. Who are the people that are giving you your messages? And you can still love them, but if they're not giving you messages that are supporting you in your life and helping you to go, yes, I can do anything. Oh my God, I'm amazing. Because I'm telling you, that's the circle of people I have around me now. I broke up with a friend that I had for 25 years. We're going on our 2-year anniversary of not talking, and I still talk about her because I still miss her. But I had to decide, We're not good for each other anymore. I constantly walked around on eggshells. Every time I called her, I was scared. Is she going to be in a happy mood or a bad mood? Am I going to be able to talk about successes in my life, or is she going to go, oh, well, aren't you lucky? And that's what she would do. She believed that everything in my life was by luck and nothing by what I put into it. So why would I even be excited? Why? Don't brag to me about it. It's not like you did it. Your husband bought that, or blah, blah, blah. You have a supportive mom or whatever. So we need to let go of those messages that other people have, because they do not mean anything. Okay. So, and that's it. That's why I got you to start with, what are your past experiences? What are your past messages? What are those things? And that's the other thing. You can start to look, why do I believe that about myself? That thing, that thought, that pervasive thing. I'm bad with money. Well, what happened? Why do you think that? Well, right? Go back and unpack it. Maybe you lost $10 when you were a little kid. It's amazing how many bad messaging will stick with people from when they were a little tiny child, and their families won't let them forget it. And now my attitude is, grow up. You're not that little kid anymore. You don't have to listen to those unhelpful messages. So that's what you really need to think, is to get real about yourself. You want to change your self-image, you have to start to change your self-image. And that doesn't start with anybody else, that starts with you. So what are those past images? How are you talking to yourself? What are you saying? Are you still accepting on those? Okay. And you can't worry about what other people think, babes. I know. Thank you. I love it. I'm just looking at some comments. I'm going to come back to them after, but you can't. That, and this is not a negative. We come into this world alone and we go out of this world alone. And yet we will let every other person, every other TV star, movie star, real person, fake person, alive person, dead person, dictate who we are. And that's what I'm saying. It's time to let go. It's time to, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy. And don't worry, we're going to walk this journey together. That's what this challenge is about. That's what all the work that I do is, for us to let go of those past messaging and reprogram ourselves. That's what I am, a reprogrammer of negative thoughts. I got to add that to my job description or to my business card. I love that. I'm a reprogrammer of negative thoughts. Oh my God, you guys, okay, writing that down. Remind me of that. Whoever's online with me right now, message that to me later. We say I'm going to write these things down. But that's it. You need to be a reprogrammer of your own messaging. Oh my God, I swear this isn't about exercise, okay? But it kind of is. It's about your core beliefs. And it's getting back to what your beliefs are. Are your core beliefs strengthening you, or are your core beliefs weakening you? Okay? So that's what I want you to start thinking about, is, what do I like and what do I loathe? And this is another thing will probably be, I'm going to make notes of these so I don't forget, because I always say I'm going to send you guys this, but I will probably send this to you as well as a little gift. So if you signed up for this workshop, you're going to get this too. I want you to start thinking, but you don't really need the workshop. What do you like and loathe? Who are you? What do you like? What do you stand for? And it may be as simple as, I know that I like to work out. I know that I like to drink coffee before work. Or they could be a little deeper. I have an innate desire to travel and meet new people. I believe my purpose is to teach and share knowledge. I thrive on communicating with others and creating connections. I want to reprogram people's negative beliefs about themselves, right? I want to feel good. You can also have some of those negative beliefs, but we've already kind of done that, right? Those negative beliefs. But if you've still got some you want to squeeze out, now is the time. So we need to have those core beliefs and those self-limiting beliefs, right? Which are serving me. And it could be one word or it could be a sentence, but I just want you to start thinking, what are your core beliefs? I love people. I love helping people. You want to know some of my core beliefs, and really what core beliefs are your values. And I don't like using that word because people get scared and go, values, I don't know what that means. Your core beliefs are what gets you up in the morning. They're what help you decide if you're going to break up with your negative Nelly friend, or if you're going to keep dragging them along and letting them drag you down. Your values are about whether you do one type of a job or whether you do another type of a job. Your values are about, your core beliefs are whether you feel good about yourself or whether you feel crappy about yourself. So for me, a long time, I always said, oh, I just want to help people and I want to do good things. So I'd volunteer all the time, and then people would just kind of, take advantage of that. And once I realized and was honest with myself and realized that, you know what, money is important to me too. Helping people is really important, but money is important too. And once I defined, because that sounds really greedy, but once I said and defined and made a sentence instead of just use money, and that's why I said it may be a word for you, it may be a sentence. Once I got to say, money is the ability to help other people. Money allows me to donate to causes that need to be donated to. Money allows me to be able to provide free webinars and not worry about, oh God, can I feed the kids tomorrow? It's about allowing me to run my lifestyle hacks for free. It's about allowing me to offer coaching where other coaches in the world, I won't even tell you, there are coaches I have a coach that's charging $600 a month. And I love her and she's worth every penny of it because she's a business coach. So she's helping me build my business. And that is crazy. And that's why I say, if you go, so hey, sign up for my programs, just joking. But that's what I mean, because I'm working hard in other parts of my life. I can afford to do things. So once I made money a value and not a shameful thing, it's amazing how much easier it was for me to attract money, to make money, and to share money. So that's why values are important. It's the same thing about your friends, your partner, who you're around. Do you believe that you are a good person and that you deserve to be treated well? Do you believe that your journey is, well, I'm not worth that much and this person can change and I can help them? Because that belief is what's going to keep you stuck. You need to look at, are my values serving me or are they keeping me stuck? And we're going to be doing that in this upcoming challenge. And for some of you, don't worry about it. If you're watching this on the replay, it's coming up July 27th to July 31st. And I will be doing a replay of this webinar down the road. So if you're watching this and you're like, for crying out loud, Zan, it's August and the challenge is over. Don't worry, my friends. I will let you know if you signed up and I see that you've liked this. I will make sure to add you to my list to let you know when the next challenge, because ideally I'm going to be running challenges every month. Okay. And that's it. It's just about finding where you get your energy from. Okay. And that's it. I want you to start deciding, what are my beliefs? Who am I? And again, you guys know, if you're ever struggling with this, reach out to me. Ask me for more information on this. That's what it is. There's so much info on this topic and I look at the time and it's ticking away. But if you need more support on any of these, reach out to me. Send me an email, send me a Facebook Messenger, and I promise you, I will not leave you high and dry on this. And I've got resources that can help you sort these things out. But that's what I want you to talk about. The other thing is, if you've got a family or a business, I want you to really think about too, what are the core values, core beliefs of our family as a family unit? Not what grandma and grandpa do, our immediate family. Because a lot of times we'll let our parents dictate how let our family dynamics operate, even though that wasn't the best way 20 years ago. Why is it good now? You know what I mean? Or if you've got a company and you need to really look at, and you're wondering why people are slacking and not working hard. Well, what are the values? What are you putting out there? That's one of my biggest things. I get people to help me, and I have so many great friends who want to help with my business. And I'm always like, yeah, just do whatever. And then they don't do it. And then I wonder why they don't do it. I'm like, oh, I guess they don't want to help me. Well, no, it's because how do you know what is, oh, just do whatever you want to do. Like this thing, do that. Well, then they do it. But my expectations were higher, I think, because my value is, well, I worked super hard and I'm a super, that's one of my values is being a self-actualizer. And what does that mean? It means giving 120% all the time. But realizing that when I'm sick, my 120 may be 30%. It realizes that my energy is just giving all that I can with the energy that I have. It doesn't mean that I have 120% energy all the time. It may be little, bigger, up, right? And that's it. We need to put it and manage it and go. And the other thing is, how much energy do I want to put towards this thing? Because some of us, and I'm telling you, I know you're on here, are putting way too much energy into places that you don't need to put it. That's what values are going to help you decide. Do you need to keep worrying about this thing, this person, or is it about you really figuring out, about you, worrying about you for a change instead of worrying about what everybody, if you worried half as much about what you were doing and making your dreams come true as you spend worrying about what other people think about you and allowing it to stop you from doing the things that you need to do, I'm sorry, you'd be kicking ass on everything and have everything that you want in your life. But we're so busy at making amends and trying, those negative people trying to change their minds. It's like an election, right? Everybody's worried about the no's in an election. I don't care about the no's. Their minds are already made up about me. I'm going after the don't knows. I'm going after the yeses. Come on in, people. Let's bring my positivity. The don't knows are the people that I can convince. You know, it's even my network marketing friends out there. I always laugh because they always tell you to go to your warm market first. I'm sorry, your warm market's the last place that people want to buy your makeup or your. I was a Beachbody coach. Well, not just that. I sold a lot of products over the years, and they're not the ones because they're scared and they have these images about you, right? Oh, there's that again, trying her thing. Oh, isn't she cute? She'll stop soon enough. Just don't answer her message and she'll quit because she quits everything, right? That's the message. That's how I was. It was like, I get bored quickly. So normally this wouldn't have been going on for 3 months long, these free webinars. I would have quit them after the first month and went, oh, well, that was fun. But I believe in them and it's part of my values. It's part of me showing up is no, I need to show up if I want other people to show up. So start to figure out those core values, my friends, and write them down. And don't worry, I'm not leaving you high and dry. There's lots more. We talk about them in the group. So make sure if you're not a member of Lifestyle Hacks with Zan, that you go add yourself to it. And I promise it's not a super salesy group. I have lots of things, but it's really about sharing our power and holding each other up. And it's open to everybody, man, woman, child, we, they, other, binary, anything. I want you there because that's what I want to learn too. The more variety of people we have around in our lives, the more we learn and the fuller we become as human beings. And that's all I want in my life. I want people to change my mind and to expand it and to open it. And I want to know. So I promise, if ever there's anything that I say that offends you, that I don't say right, that you know a better way of thinking, saying, doing, being, I want you to reach out to me, okay? And because I want to know, and that's the only way I'm going to learn. And I'd rather you tell me in a loving way than some ass clown ripping me a new one on Facebook when I say it wrong, right? So that's what I'm offering. I'm saying I'm open to you. And I want to talk about achievements later too. Oh, there's so many things. Okay. Because that's what beliefs too are about, your achievements and the past things that you've done. So I really want you to start thinking those kind thoughts about yourself throughout all of this. I want to talk about earlier. I think it comes up, but I get too excited. Shiny raccoon syndrome. So I'm just going to move on to the next slide. And this doesn't happen overnight. This is when we train ourselves to think and be a way, it's really about repeated action. So neuroscientists who study the responses, reaction, and neural tendency of our brains, they study all of these things and they say it's very clear from what they see that repeated actions and repeated thoughts result in our brain developing new neural pathways. So I know people tell you that it's all in your head. What this means is that our thoughts literally have the power to change the way our brains work. So that's why childhood trauma is not just what's a big deal? It can literally have rewired our brain. That's why addictions, literally, because it's a chemical rewiring. It will literally rewire our brain. So if you've been constantly, lack of food, any of my people with eating disorders, if you've been chemically, because I had disordered eating most of my life, starting to get last couple of years, it's getting a little bit under control, but these have changed my brain. And if anybody has metabolic syndrome where you yo-yo dieted for years and then all of a sudden you start eating healthy and doing the right things and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for 6 months and nothing's changed. Well, what's happened is you've chemically changed your body and it may take you another 6 months. So don't give up. It's just, you've got to realize that it's like leaving a couch sitting on in a spot on a carpet for 20 years. And then all of a sudden you move the couch and you go, oh my God, look at the carpet. Look at the dent in the carpet. I know there's some wizards out there that use steam and other things that they can plump the carpet back up. But for the rest of us, we've got a dent in our carpet for another 20 years until it naturally rebounds or maybe permanently. So that's what I need you to think about is these messages and things. So in regards to us creating patterns, the more you tell yourself something or the more you've heard a message, the more ingrained it's going to become in you. And the more that you tell yourself this and the more you reaffirm it, because you're going to look for ways, you're going to get into situations that you will keep allowing it to happen, that you will look out ways like you that's why we get into abusive relationships if we've been traumatized as a child, because, well, I deserve that. My mom always said I was worthless and that I ruined her life. So I need to keep I'm not a good person. So instead of trying to surround yourself with good people, you will go seek out people that will help to keep that message in your head. Yes, and if it's parents, it's amazing. It's those messages. Our parents love us, even the most loving parents. And that's with my kids. I constantly have to, even joking, and I will have to stop me and my son going and look at the kids and go, that was stupid. I'm sorry. We shouldn't have said that. It wasn't a very good joke. And my daughter goes, what are you talking about? She's like a wall. She doesn't hear anything we say. My son will go, I know. That was terrible. And I love it because he's got a healthy sense of self, and he knows that our jokes are stupid and we shouldn't be saying them, because we're creating for ourselves and for him this pattern. So you get to redo it. And if you go, oh no, what do I do now? Well, that's why I'm getting you to write this stuff down. Because if you think it, it's like the wind. It's going to go out of my mouth into your brain and back out your ear again. Because those negative thoughts have had way longer of a time to develop a path, a rut in your brain than my positive thoughts have, my positive words have. Okay. So don't stop if you feel like it's hard. Don't stop if you're not getting results right away. Really start looking at it and saying, what could I do to intensify my results? I want you to coach yourself, because that's what I would do as your coach. What is getting in your way? What could you turn up in your life to help you amplify the results that you want to be? What thoughts do you have to start thinking? Oh, it's hard for you to remember the good thoughts. Okay, well, what do? I have one client that she's got whiteboards all over her house that she's been writing down the new positive thoughts. She has signs that say, stop thinking that about yourself. She writes it on her bathroom mirror. I get clients to take screenshots of their vision boards that talk about self-love and use that as a screensaver on their phone. So I don't know. What do you need? Maybe it's you getting rid of people in your life that are still giving you those negative messages. Maybe it's being in that dead-end job that is still making you feel crappy. Okay? So you need to think where you're putting your energy, because and somebody said it, you put the energy into a negative thought, you blow it up into a monster. Thank you for that. And that's what happens. You put into your, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm going to fail. You put the energy into that instead of, you know what? I am smart enough. Maybe I will struggle, but I'm smart enough. I can find a way through this. Everything is figure outable. Thank you, Marie Forleo. You can. You've had hard troubles before, but you've gotten out of it. So you don't have to go, oh no, it's BS. I'm perfect. I'm great. Because that's what everyone thinks the opposite thought of negative thoughts are. No, they're not. The opposite is I am resourceful. I have friends. I can Google this. Right? It isn't about I know everything and I'm perfect, because that's just not real. That's a BS thought too. So I want you to know that you are a worker bee and you're going to figure it out, because you've gotten to this point. You figured out how to get on this webinar. Even me, I was scared today because I'm using my StreamYard technology to stream further. Well, there's part of me that didn't want to do it and just wanted to go back. But I went, no, my friend's online with me. And I'm like, hey, girl, can you help me figure this out? And we worked it out until we figured it out. And here I am. So we made it. Okay. And that's it. Oh, I love that. Yes, it's almost like we imagine a blowout and ending a relationship if we assert ourselves. So we just keep jamming it down. Exactly. That's what we do. It doesn't have to be. And then the fact is, two things I want to say. If you do have a blowout with somebody after you've just said, I need you to treat me with more kindness. I need you to, because I know you're not going to go, you are so blah, because that isn't going to get you the results. But if you go in with an open heart, being vulnerable and saying what you want, and they freak out on you and want to break up with you, what I want you to do is put your two hands together and say, hallelujah, thank you. Because the fact is they were never they were that negative influence in your life. Because the people that love and care about you are going to go, oh my gosh, what did I do? Why do you feel this way? They're going to want to know more. They're not going to blow up on you. Because when we blow up, it's our own guilty conscience, right? We know we've been doing this a bit. That's why we freak out. Same with Facebook. I'm working with a lot of entrepreneurs that are putting themselves out there right now and are saying, Zan, I'm scared to put this on my personal page. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, people will say stuff, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, holy crap. Seriously, that's the kind of friends that you have on your Facebook page? Get rid of them. What the hell is wrong with you? And I say that in the most loving way. I just had it I put up a post yesterday about one of my favorite movies, Rock Horror Picture Show. Do I think it's one of the best movies ever made? No, it makes me laugh, it makes me dance, and it makes me sing. And that's what I love about it. Well, a friend, again, if you could see me, I'm doing air quotations, left the most scathing, and this person's an academic, and I was going to leave a scathing message. It was a very smarty pants message about basically anybody who likes that movie's a dipshit, but in smarter words than that. I was going to go and try to outsmarty pants him and say, well, blah, blah, and use a bunch of big words to basically make him feel as kind of stupid as he was trying to make me feel. And I went, wait a minute, because I started fixing it on going, oh boy, I'm going to write this email and I'm going to fix him. And I went, oh my God, what am I doing? I immediately deleted the post because it's mine. I'm in control of it. And I went and deleted him as a friend. And I'm sure he's the type, if he ever sees it, he's going to go, Zan, I was just joking. I thought you were thick enough skin to be able to do that. You know what? Whatever. I didn't like it and it made me feel sad. So I'm getting rid of it. End of story. And that's that. Is this person a super good friend? And would I give another friend more of an opportunity? Of course I would. But this person is not a super close friend. This person has never really commented or liked anything. So to me, when you're doing that, you're a troll. So if you're dropping in because you got to think you got your 2 cents to give, but you've never ever commented on someone's post before, you've never liked it, disliked it, anything, and you just want to drop a little shit turd onto my, be gone. I have no time for this. Okay. And I mean, it sounds so small and tiny, but it was big because I'm still talking about it. It still pissed me off and I'm still thinking. So that's why I have to get on with it. But now after this, I'm done with it, people. So thank you for letting me share and move on. And I want you to know that this is indeed the most difficult part of all this is not realizing your habits and behavior patterns. It's breaking out of them. So yes, you're going to write all this stuff down, but that's why I need you to keep telling it. And that's why I'm glad if you've got somebody with you right now, awesome, because you're going to be each other's accountability buddy. But I need somebody else who cares about you when they hear you talking shit about yourself, that they're going to say, hey, smarten up. There you do it again. I love you. Right? You're amazing. You may have to do it for yourself. As an ex-smoker, one of the things they'd say would be put an elastic band around your waist. And every time you think of having a smoke, snap yourself. And it was like negative conditioning. So I want you to snap yourself, right? Maybe that's what you do is put a little band on your wrist and snap it when you need to. But you need to start getting yourself down, okay? And don't worry, I'm going to be sharing some more resources in the Lifestyle Hacks with Zan group, just so you know, I ain't leaving you high and dry. Nutrition and self-image, you guys know, for any of you know me, I'm a group fitness personal trainer. I'm a fitness professional. I'm a healthy eating coach as well. And I'm not saying you got to be skinny. I'm a anti-skinny person. I'm about being a healthy person, and I am being about a person who feels like they can go out into the world and show up feeling good about themselves. So to me, this is about nutrition, and it's about not being tired. And it's about, I drank enough water this morning, and I went to bed late, and I had a chemical peel a couple of days ago. I feel horrendous right now. My face feels like it's peeling off in a big sheet. I'm tired, and I'm puffy and dehydrated right now. So I was going to let it and go, I'm not doing any lives today. I did a live earlier this morning because I went, dang it, woman, have a glass of water and get on with it. But I realized how much the astronomical benefits of using proper nutrition, water, hydration, physical activity to combat my mental health issues, and as well as others. And realistically, this is only coming to the forefront in the last bit. People have been giving out medicine for depression for years, and it is part of it. But I want you to look at, what are you eating? What are you putting into your body? And this isn't the one we're going to be. I've been dropping some healthy eating things, and I'll be doing some more of that. So I'm not going to try to go into a great amount of detail. But where do you start if you say, Zan, I am struggling with overeating, with emotional eating? We're going to be having a webinar coming up on that too. What I would say to you is, again, start writing down every morsel of food you put into your body and every drink. And if you are a disordered eater where you're an undereater, I would not advise this for you, because, well, maybe it is, because I want you to see how little you're eating and not celebrate it, right? We need to really be honest with ourselves. And that's why writing things down helps. That's why even as a coach, or when I owned my studio, my fitness studio, we measured and weighed and all that, but it wasn't about that. I would ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about yourself right now? We'd start, and every week I would ask them, and it's amazing because they would still beat up on their body. And they'd go, well, I haven't lost weight. My weight, why hasn't it changed? Why am I still this weight, even though I could see the strength? I would ask them, how do you feel? Last week they were 2. They go, well, geez, I thought I would have lost weight because I feel great this week. How do you feel? Where do you feel? I feel like a 6. I thought, well, isn't that what's most important? I don't care what your scale says. I don't care. I want to know, do you feel better than you did last week? And that's what'll happen is too, people will want to have a confrontation or do some work and whatever. You want to start feeling better about yourself. What are you putting into your body? Are you getting enough sleep? Because that's part and parcel of it, right? And that physical activity. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But start tracking, okay? Because this has a big impact on how you feel about yourself. I mentioned it earlier about your relationships and your self-image. Who are the people around you? And have you ever heard that saying, how can you love someone else if you don't love yourself? Have you ever laughed it off and scoffed at it? Most of us have and thought it was cheesy, but I'm telling you, it's the truth, man. And the other thing is too, if you are, it can be you're in an abusive relationship or an unsatisfying relationship. It could be a friend who doesn't treat you nicely. It could be someone you say, oh, we get along most of the time. That isn't good enough for me. I need people in my life that have my back 100%. The other thing is, if I'm the one, am I a good partner? Am I the bully? Am I the drama llama? Am I constantly asking, why do people treat me like this? Why is this happening to me all the time? I need you to start looking at yourself, not to beat yourself up, but to go, how am I showing up? Who am I? Am I bringing joy to the world? And again, I know we suffer depression. We have poor self-image. But if you're constantly the person that's posting about how shitty life is and I do, because I went through that. My friends will say, Zan, we can see how you're feeling by your posts on Facebook. Because I would, when I was struggling with relationship with my husband, my best friend would say, oh my God, I haven't seen him in ages, months and months and months. And then all of a sudden I started posting pictures of us again and she knew we were getting along. So that's what I want to know is, how are you showing up in relationships? And if you're the victim all the time and that's what you're like, well, I guess I deserve it, then you are going to get more of that. And you don't deserve it. But that's what you need to decide. Who am I? How am I showing up? Okay? Because negative relationships are maintained and cultivated through negative behaviors, thought patterns, and cycles, and can often prove the most difficult and painful aspect of self-image to overhaul, because our friends are our friends, and you can't tell your family off, and you don't want a big blow up. But you don't have to. You're a grown-up now. And the fact is, if people can't handle having a proper grown-up relationship with you, are you really helping them by allowing them to stay in their lowest form of emotional intelligence? Because you say that you love them. Do you really? Because you wouldn't allow them to keep acting the way they're acting if you did. Just something to think about. Visualization and meditation. These are huge ones. This is about, because to me, visualization is a lot about anxiety. We use it all the time for negative things. Oh, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to say this, he's going to say that, and then we're all going to get into a fight and the house is going to blow up, right? We'll visualize the negative, but very rarely do we sit and visualize the positive things that could come of this conversation. We rarely visualize, even if it's not the best ending, opening a door, okay? And that's it. It's time, man. It's time to get rid of people. Thank you. And I'm glad I'm going to touch base on this discussion we've got going on here. Sorry, guys. I love you. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Okay. That's what we need to do is you need to visualize what your life is going to look like, right? One of the lovely ways I love to do is how people want to show up. I tell them, imagine that you're getting an award tomorrow. I don't care what it's for. It could be nicest person in the world, whatever you want people to think about you. It could be you're retiring at work. It could be your kid. I don't know. There's a big award going on. And there's going to be people or maybe it's your wedding. There's going to be people that are going to get up and say nice things about you or not so nice things about you. I want you to write down, what would you want these people to say? For some of you, you may go, oh, I don't know. Well, write down what you think they're going to say. It's another one of those flipping it. What do you want people to say about you when you get that award? So think about a coworker or your boss, right? So depending on who are the most significant people in your life. So your boss, your partner, maybe it's a role model that you have. That's a really good one. What would you want them to say? Someone you respect, right? Your grandmother, who you thought was the best person ever. What would you want? What would they say about you? Were your best qualities? How you showed up? And I promise you, you're not going to say, oh, they were rich. They were super nice dressed all the time, right? Like visualize who you want to be for people, how you want to show up. Meditation is about just calming our mind and slowing our minds down. It helps us to gain clarity and become more aware of how our minds work. Stop the racing, stop the hamster wheel, right? And meditation is just breathing. People think yes, there's all sorts of different, and I'll put a guided meditation. I keep making little notes for myself. I'm going to add an easy guided meditation, or maybe I'll do a fun one. Oh, I've got a fun one. It's called, it's a swear meditation, but anyways, it's still a good one. But I'll add something into the group for you guys. So we'll talk about guided meditation as well. But that's it. It's about focusing on your breath and breathing. And if you go, it's impossible, then breathe again. Focus on the breath. And you just need to Google them. I'll put something on. I'll drop a couple of YouTube links, but you can just Google guided meditation, and it will give you guided visualization, and you can start to delve into it. But if you want to change your mind, you need to change your mind. These are two of the biggest tools. There is no external thing. And that's what a lot of people will do. And I love you going to counseling, and I love you going to coaching, and I love you to doing, but realistically, those are the things that we're going to make you do. Visualization, meditation, writing these thoughts down. So everything I'm telling you, go hand in hand with everything that you would be doing. So if you're feeling you need more support, then go get more support. Some people can do all this on their own, but some people can't. Most people can't, or you would be doing it on your own. Okay. So that's what I encourage you to do. We're almost here. I'm looking at the time. Oh my goodness. I've been putting 75 minutes because it seems like it's a little closer to 75. I love this Wayne Dyer quote. When you judge another, you do not define them. You define yourself. Oh my gosh, this is such an amazing thing. So one of the most fascinating aspects of social science behind self-image that I find anyways, and that it's amazing because it's how it makes so much sense, is the fact that when we communicate with others, we mirror our own insecurities and how we treat them. So for example, if the first automatic thought and judgment you have on meeting someone new is she's too loud, then chances are this judgment is something that you actually hold against yourself, and you wish you could be as loud and confident as this person. And the fact that you're not is really a judgment about it. I mean, there's one thing with being annoyed, but realistically, to me, when I'm annoyed, it's because I'm like, wait a minute, why do they get to do that and I don't get to do that? That's a lot of times. That's why I'm a line follower and a rule follower. Why? Because why should other people get to jump to the front of the line? Why should you get more than me? Well, that says more about me feeling insecure and not getting my share and feeling that I'm constantly in a state of lack, which is what happens. And the kids are the best at it. They'll go, this happened in Mexico. We had a resort a couple of years ago, and I didn't get my thing and somebody else got my thing, whatever it was. I can't remember. My daughter, she was so cute. She goes, Mom, we're in Mexico. Chill. Who cares? And I was like, oh. But there I was being this bossy kid again, that maybe this poor person that I grew up as, or not as financially, where rich people took it all from us and we're not going to get our own. So here was my old message playing itself out again in the middle of this hotel resort in Mexico. But it's so much about judgments are a way of shifting our attention away from our own flaws, and making the issue about anything and anyone else except us. And again, this realization can be uncomfortable to admit and tackle. So we have a habit of simply ignoring it. But even just by taking this webinar today, you've taken an amazing step towards this. So don't worry, you're working towards it, people. And it's crazy because reflecting beliefs onto other people in our lives is an unfortunate way that this negative self-image can have. And it's the same thing. Remember when I said your families that love you will leave you messages that aren't necessarily positive? It's because they're trying to protect themselves. It's because they felt they didn't feel accepted. It's because they had a different relationship and it wasn't accepted in their lifetime. Well, it's different for you. You're different. So would any ever, and another way to look at this is people always are wearing and seeing life through a different pair of glasses. So that's what the mirror is too. If you're wearing sunny glasses and happy glasses, you're going to see positivity all around you. If you're wearing negative, dark, suspicious glasses, then you're going to see suspicious people everywhere. If you believe people are out there to hurt you and damage you and are no good, stinking, rotten scoundrels, then that's who you're going to see and who you're going to attract and who's going to come around. So I want you to start to think about, here's another little activity for you. What's one thing you judge in someone close to you that's actually about yourself? Okay. And I've told you mine. I've got so many. Mine is about other coaches, and I'll be honest, it's about other coaches doing lives better than me, doing more lives, and I'm like, oh, there they go again, just flaunting themselves. When really I'm jealous because I'm like, oh my gosh, they're connecting with people more than I am. They're going to help more people. Isn't that funny? That's what I get. That's what I get offended by. Other people are going to help more people. But be honest with yourself. It's a struggle. I want to be, because remember, I'm an unfulfilled actor. Oh, for those of you who haven't been on it, that's my big, that's why I do a lot of this. I love helping people, but I also am an unfulfilled actor. So part of that's my star feeling like, oh, someone else is the star and I'm not the star, which is totally about ego and a whole nother webinar. But right, I want you to think about it. Be honest with yourself, because I could just blame it and put those coaches down. No, what do I need to do to be that? I need to go live more. I need to help more. I need to be out there more. So that's what I'm going to do for you. Okay. We've been talking about breaking the cycle through all of this. So, and realizing your negative and unhelpful thought patterns is just the first step. Okay. To break your cycle completely, you must take action. This can come in many different forms. Okay. And it's going to be different for everyone. But the main thing to be aware of is that it doesn't have to be a massive shift. Small changes in the right places can make as big of a difference in the long term as huge ones in the moment, okay? So after you're first identifying your limiting beliefs, how do we go about changing them? There's different ways. I've told you some ways. It's just about writing them down is one of the huge ones. It's about putting them visibly so you can see what unhelpful thoughts. Another thing is talking to other people about it. Hey, you guys, I did this webinar and we talked about unhelpful thoughts. These are some of the thoughts. What do you hear? Do you hear me saying anything that, like, saying things about myself that aren't true or that you don't believe it? Because you say stuff and your friends, your coworkers will go, what are you talking about? You're so amazing at that. And we'll toss that achievement aside. So we need to start focusing on our achievements. We need to start focusing on the things that we're good at, and not just big things, little things. I made a lady feel good because I opened a door. I bought someone a coffee at Tim Hortons. Whatever those things are that you do that make you feel good about yourself, we need to start identifying it. Keeping a journal. So that's what you can do. That's what journaling is, or a diary, right? Or just start writing it down and catching yourself doing it. But you can also go to counseling. You can also, and counselors will do things with, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, which is basically shifting your thought patterns from negative thoughts to more positive thoughts. But again, even in that, they're going to give you a lot of things. They're going to make you become self-aware. They're going to make you stop and take 10 deep breaths. They're going to make you notice 5 things around you. We'll be talking, these are all anxiety reducing techniques that you can use, and I will have some of them. But you've got to decide that you're going to do them, and you can't just do them half-assed. You can't just do them for 5 minutes. You've got to decide that you're going to take as many years as it's taking you to build this habit, to break the habit. To break that. But I promise you, you're way smarter than you were, and you didn't know all the things. So it's not going to take you 20 years to break this habit. It could take you 20 minutes. It's all how much the value that and the definition that you give this and the effort that you put into it, and how often you keep going, oh, I don't deserve this. Oh, geez, well, my mom won't like it if I act this way, or my parent, or my boss, right? How long are you going to keep tolerating this life? And I love it. Thank you, right? Celebrate. And don't worry, you're so funny, they won't comment on my body. You know what they will comment on, though, is how your body allowed you to show up for everybody. You had the energy to make it to every community event. You had the energy to organize those family funerals. So when I mention that isn't about it, baby. Your body brought how many beautiful children into this world? Your body can fix a car. Not you necessarily, but anybody else out there. What can your body do, right? That's the thing. We think that compliments have to be because we were the best at it. No, it doesn't. It can be because you were loving and caring and sharing. And that's where we start breaking the cycle, is starting to learn to love ourselves and not just toss aside our achievements. I want you to start focusing on what is good and wonderful and lovely about you. And if you don't know, then contact me. We're going to work through it. If you don't know, go ask somebody that you know loves you unconditionally and ask them, what is lovely? What is lovely about me? What do people love about me? Okay? And write it down. And don't forget about it. Okay, because that's it. Especially if you've grown up in trauma or in a traumatic household, you will only feel, because normally you were only as good as your last achievement kind of thing. Oh, I made mom happy, so now she's not going to be angry in the house. Oh God, I got to walk on eggshells. Oh God, am I going to make a mistake? Right? You've got to decide, how do you want to show up every day? Mindfulness, and that's what we've been talking about all through this. So this is about choosing to pay attention to things. That's all mindfulness is. You feel anxiety in your body. Mindfulness is about saying, wait a minute, I feel anxiety in my body. Why am I feeling? How useful is this anxiety right now? Is this anxiety going to solve a problem or not? What could I actually do that would help this situation that I'm worrying about? Could I, somebody's ill. Well, could I bring a meal to someone's house? Could I raise, do a little fund drive? Like, instead of just worrying about it, it ain't going to help. Worry never changed anything. Worry's a waste of my time. Oh my goodness, a little bit of Guns N' Roses there. Sorry, but it's true. Even Axl Rose told you, worry's a waste of my time. People, I quote that somewhere. And that's it. You asked me, I'm so tired. I hear that so much from people's stressors. And I go, I would be too, if that's all I did is just poured all of my energy into figuring out how to worry about something. Because when we worry, we never take action. We just think about it, which then puts us into a further thought worry. Mindfulness is about saying, what can I do about this? Because I'm tired of feeling this way. Okay. Mindfulness is checking in with your mind, body, and soul, and then saying, how can I change this feeling? And there you go. Body positivity, baby. There are so many people out there that I'm working. That's why I became a health and fitness professional, because I realized that mental health and body image were so tied together for people, but also that physical activity and healthy eating were attached to mental wellness and how you feel about yourself overall. Because I know a ton of people that never lost 2 pounds after being at my studio for two years because they enjoyed eating. But what they did do is learn to love who they were. They learned to be able to go hiking. Maybe they didn't fit into their prom dress from high school, but they realized that was never their goal. So for me, when I look at body positivity, I want to know, what do you want your body to do? And if you're telling me fit into a bikini, I don't believe that's most people. Most people want to feel good about themselves. They don't want to feel ashamed. They don't want people to look at them weird. Well, honestly, people look at me weird all the time, but it's because I am a weirdo and because I'm happy and it shocks people. I have people say, I don't know how you do this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Want to know my magic secret? And I think that's the same. Some of the most amazing people that I've met are not worried about what their body looks like, okay? And why? Because they're out there living their biggest, best life. I was on a cruise and there was this amazing lady, and when I was like 20, I think, and I was so worried about my skinniness and, oh my gosh, I'm so lumpy and there's all these dudes on the boat, and I was just so stupid, right? Until I met this woman, and she was the most amazing lady that I've ever met. And to be honest, there was a Chippendales kind of show on this boat, and they were looking for volunteers. And of course, it was the hottest looking chickies, because they were going to be, and they're all in hoochie mama dresses and whatever. And that says more about me, because I wish I was in a hoochie mama dress. Okay, I should have been. Why wasn't I? So when I say that, that's one of those judgments about other people who can wear a hoochie mama dress. I love it. I wish I had that confidence. Well, let me tell you, who do you think they picked? Not one of those girls. They picked the loudest, most rambunctious, most, oh my God, she was all the most you could think. She also weighed over 400 pounds. There was 4 of these gentlemen that had to help her out of her chair and bring her up onto the stage. And this woman Oh my God. Those guys were not the show. Those women, that woman was the show. She was grinding. Those guys' face were so red and they were laughing so hard. And we were screaming like wild animals, not for them, for her, because she worked it, man. Like she worked it so much that I was so entranced by her that I went and searched through 12 stories of this cruise ship until I found her. I looked for her for 3 hours so that I found her in this casino. And of course, she was surrounded by a group of people, all laughing and just hanging on every word she said. And I was like, baby, thank you so much. You are the most amazing person I met, and blah, blah. And she was like, girl, why ain't you feeling that way every day? Why you wait for me to make you feel amazing? You already amazing. I could cry right now. Sorry, I'm having a total flashback to her because she was, ugh. So that's it. So it's time to start figuring out. And how do we do that? If you're feeling anything that you don't like about your body, or you're feeling it's not, and men and women feel it equally, I promise you, we always think this is a women thing. Are you kidding me? When you see all the guy images that are out there, when all the memes of Jason Momoa, there's no joke there. Honestly, it's either Jason Momoa or you're a slug. And that's what the big meme is. If you look at, there's nobody in between. So how can a man feel good about their body in this day and age either? They just have to jam it down because it's not cool for guys to talk about their bodies, right? Women are allowed to go on and on about it. And there's industries that target us because we're allowed to go on and on about how unhappy we are. So right now, I want you to make a list of 10 things about yourself and your body that you love and appreciate. And it doesn't have to be physical. Although do try to include 3 or 4. It could be because I have babies. It could be because I haven't had babies, but I'm a great fur mama and I take or fur daddy out there, or fur person. Sorry guys, I know I use all these binary language and I'm sorry. It's my age. I was born in the 70s. So that's another thing I constantly am struggling with because I have so many friends out there and I never want any one of them to think that I don't love and appreciate them and accept them every way they are. So teach me, people, I'm here for. And so that's what I want you to do. I want you to expand on that. What do you love? What can your body do that makes you happy? It gets you to work. It allows you to show up for your friends. It allows you to help people, right? Oh, sorry, I'm dropping stuff around here. Clang, clang, noisy, noisy. So that's what I want you to think. All right. Don't worry about it. Because the fact is, when they do talk about your accolades, they're going to talk about how you saved that person, maybe pulled them out of a creek, right? How you can, I don't know. What do you do? That you climbed up a hill that you never thought you could, that you gave somebody CPR and you saved their life. And people go, how does that have to? Because you have to be strong and you have to have endurance to do CPR. Okay, Heimlich maneuver, same thing. No weaklings can give the Heimlich maneuver. And I've saved a life with the Heimlich maneuver, and I was 5 years old, my older sister. So that's what I say. Write it down now. Okay, what do you love about your body? What can it do? How does it help you move through life? Ooh, and we're getting close to the end, you guys. Thank God. Thank goodness here. What time is it? 20 after. It's a little later. So 6 pillars of self-esteem. This is a dude. I'm going to read this little thing. And again, you can listen to it or not. It's a quote by this dude, Nathaniel Branden, from the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. And I've got the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem listed for you here as well. So, apart from disturbance whose roots are biological, I cannot think of a single psychological problem, from anxiety and depression to underachievement at school or at work, to fear of intimacy, happiness, or success, to alcohol or drug abuse, to spouse battering or child molestation, to codependency and sexual disorders, to passivity and chronic aimlessness, to suicide and crimes of violence, that is not traceable, at least in part, to the problem of deficient self-esteem. All of the judgments we pass in life, none is as important as the one we pass on ourselves. Oh my God. Okay. Nathaniel Branden, the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. And these are them. I will not belabor them. But what you want to do, you need to practice. The practice of living self-conscious, of living consciously. So that's that of mindfulness. That's being aware of what makes you tick, your self-awareness. The practice of self-acceptance. Who I am is wonderful just right now. And also accepting that I want more in my life. okay? But not ever believing that you can't do it, that you can always do it. The practice of self-responsibility. You are in charge of you, not your parents. I don't care how old you are. You are in charge of yourself, moving it through. Of course, those of you listening, when you're 6, you don't have that choice. And that's why it's important for you now to do the work. The practice of self-assertiveness. What do you want? How do you want to be treated? What do you expect in life? The practice of living purposefully, right? And that's what the intentional life is about. What is it that you want? How do you want to show up? And I need you to shout it from the top of the rooftops and keep pushing towards it until you get it. And the practice of personal integrity. Okay, I think that might have dropped off the bottom of my page. So that's the last one. If you guys cannot see it, it is the practice of personal integrity, which means doing what you say and saying what you do, right? It's walking the talk. And it's about staying true to yourself. You can BS other people, but don't BS yourself. Be honest. And that's why we write the things down. Oh, yoga and self-image. Really, this is about physical activity. Yoga is really good because it isn't about necessarily building muscles. There's so much science about stretching, and you guys know I've got a stretch video earlier, and I may even I will tag that again. Tag stretch video, because moving your body and sitting down is really hard on us. And I think that we need to get up and move. And if you are sitting down permanently, moving those arms, moving your neck, moving your mind, okay? Because even yoga, meditation, mindfulness, that's why they're all connected, because we can do what we can do where we can do it. So it's a huge one that will help. So we're wrapping up, folks. How are you feeling? I'm curious. I know there's a ton of information here. I am curious how you're feeling, right? One, excitement, 2, overwhelmed. So if you want to make a little note for me below, I'd love to see it in the comments. And don't worry, both are great excitements or emotions, because I know we have talked about a lot of things. So let me know. Awesome, beautiful. That's what I love to see. Excitement, good. That's what I want to hear, because that's what it's about. All right. Because even every time you feel overwhelmed, every time that you feel anxiety, I've started teaching myself that anxiety and overwhelm feels the same a lot of the time, right? You get a little shaky, you get a little sick to your stomach maybe, you get excited, right? Like it says, oh God, what's going to happen? That's what anxiety is. It's a fear of what's coming next. Excitement is a fear of what's coming next. Excitement is the same, because even when you're excited, you're like, oh my God, I'm a little bit scared too. That's what excitement is, right? And what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't happen? So to me, fear and excitement, or excitement and anxiety can be very much, and fear are all a part of this tri-dice, or whatever you want to call it, this tent, right? It's about keeping the triangle, and they all fit together. So you need to realize that with repeated action and changing your mind, I promise you, you are going to start making those changes for yourself and doing the personal development. Thanks, Susan. The Wayne Dyer stuff, the quote, awesome, excellent. That's what I love. And I've got a bunch of links dropped in here, inspired. I love it, you guys. I'm just going to peek through here. Excellent, love the information. Yes, write it all. I am a light bearer. Oh, I love it. You guys are so amazing. You are everything. And I want you to realize that however you feel, nobody can make you feel anything. You choose to feel. You allow feeling to come into you. And I know that can seem like, but it's my mom, but it's my partner, it's my boss, it was my best friend. But the fact is, everybody sees you in their light. Everybody sees you as an extent, like through how their glasses are that day. And if they haven't done this work, if they don't feel good about themselves, if they don't have self-esteem and self-confidence and self-awareness, how can they help you to have that? And yet we will still base our self-worth on what those people think and feel. So it's time for you. And like I said, most of my people, this isn't targeted, but it is targeted at that 14-year-old that maybe is struggling and doesn't have that family that is super emotionally intelligent, doing what they need to do. Well, then I don't care what all of your family are telling you. Go to school, be strong, be healthy. Don't look at them and let them make you feel like you're not one of them, the crabs in the bucket, because that's what happens in our communities. Oh, you think you're good now. Oh, you're going to go to school. You're going to change your life. Oh, what? You don't want to be like us anymore? I'm telling you, it's bullshit. And every trauma, it doesn't have to be. There's always going to be somebody who does that intentionally or unintentionally, right? The unintentional is the people who love us and that are afraid of us for making a mistake. But you don't have to. You get to be who you want to be now, okay? And I want you all to take a look at in the group chat. I get to print it out after, so I'm going to go back and look at some of the links that you guys have left, and I'll add them to the Lifestyle Hacks with Zan group. So if you're not a part of it, please come and join the group, because that's where this conversation continues. Oh my God, we're almost done. Thank you for taking the time to be a part of this class and even allowing me to go over. As always, there's just too much content, you guys. I think I'm just going to change it to a 90-minute, but I hate it being that way too, because I want you to have the ins and outs. And I'm always open to your suggestions if there's any way. And I would love this to be a more interactive thing, but that's what the challenge, that's why I'm going to start doing the challenges, is because I want to increase interaction between our groups. Okay, so I'm going to flip through here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're amazing. I'm curious below. I want you to tell me in the comments, what is the #1 takeaway that you've had from this workshop? Okay, and it doesn't have to be my words. It could be just a way that you're thinking or feeling about yourself right now, or something that you're going to try. Some of you have noted some about writing things down. You know, maybe it's about interrupting your image. I don't know, but give me some feedback. And as well, how valuable did you find this? And feel free to send it to me as a private message. I know not everybody's as super open as sharing as I am. So, but I need your feedback. So if you wouldn't mind, please feel free to send me a message. If you could comment in the comments on the, in the Lifestyle Hacks group, on the YouTube page that you might be watching it right now, or anywhere else that you may be watching it right now. I'm trying to stream it everywhere just to experiment and put myself out there. So please let me know what you thought and what your takeaways were from this. But I want you to know we are done, but you are just getting started, my friends. Why? Because we are connected at the heart from now. So let's connect. How can you connect with me? My website. You can sign up for my e-newsletter as well, which doesn't come out very often, but it will get you in there so that you'll know when the next webinars are coming. And you can email me if any of this where you want to have some future discussion about this and you're saying, Zan, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know where to start. Send me an email and let's talk. We'll set up a half-hour time where we can just sort out and see what magic we can create in your life, because that's what I'm all about, is helping you to implement a fast-track plan to get you to your life. Okay, you can join my free Facebook group, my page, Zan Coaching and Consulting. You can like it because I stream everything there. I put content as well there that's a little different than the Facebook group. Free Facebook group, Lifestyle Hacks with Zan. Please invite anyone. And it is for everyone. You know, a 14-year-old that could use, I don't want to say a kick in the pants, but you know what I mean? Somebody who needs some of this positivity in their life. Because I believe that age is just a number, and it's really about what's going on in your heart, mind, and soul. Because, you know, I've got some old souls out there that are very young in age, and I've got some very young at heart who are very old at soul. And you can also check out my YouTube page, Zandra Ross. And finally, I don't have it on here, but I will be posting about the Intentional Lifestyle Challenge. You can hear my dog barking. I don't know if you can. Sorry, I have company coming. The Intentional Lifestyle Challenge, Intentional Life Challenge. Sorry, not Lifestyle Challenge. And it is going to be a 5-day challenge. I'm going to start posting about it tomorrow, that you are going to figure out a few different things in your life. It is going to run July 27th to July 31st, and it'll be running in the Lifestyle Hacks with Zan group. We are going to be, the topics are identifying your values for your intentional life. What's important to you? Day 2, developing your vision for your intentional life. What do you want to be, do, or have? Day 3, overcoming limiting beliefs and mindset blocks for your intentional life. What do you have to stop thinking and start thinking about? What do you have to stop thinking and start thinking about yourself to get out of your own way? Day 4, goal setting for your intentional life. Strategies to set and achieve your goals. And what are the things that get in the way of goals? Because we can't do everything in 5 days, but I want to give you the hacks to help make this more effective. Finally, overcoming obstacles for long-term intentional life success. So what are the obstacles that might get in your way, and who is your support team? So I'll be setting up a sign up link for this pronto, and hopefully all of you will be able to join me. Oh my gosh, you guys are so working on breaking the cycle. Oh, thank you, you guys. You are so amazing. Deepest fear, it's true. Breaking the cycle, the deepest fear. Thank you guys, my light bearers. I love you. Write the stuff down. And if you could, go drop some of these comments into the Facebook groups. I'd really appreciate it. Why? Because it shows other people what we're doing. And I'm hoping that we are going to start to encourage people to get on this lifestyle enhancement train with us. Okay? Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending this hour and a half with me on your Sunday. And I'm just so impressed with all of the work you're doing. I'm impressed with the relationships I've been seeing, reading some of this, because that's it. It's what everybody else does. Facebook, your family, everything. It's just messages from other people, okay? And that's it. Face your facts, and everything is going to work in your favor. I promise you, all of those things that you worked up. And the fact is, if it does blow up and that person that you confront or talk to doesn't, you never needed them in your life in the first place. And the option is, they may actually show up and go, I need you in my life and I want you in my life. So who do I need to be? Okay. Alrighty, you guys, I love you so much. I want you to have a phenomenal day and take care. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.